Hello, and welcome to Natural Havikie. First of all, thank you so much for gifting the 5 subs. You didn't need to do that. That's like really, really kind of you. Thank you so much. Like, thank you. You took me off my stride completely. Anyway, welcome to Natural Havoc. We are a bunch of friends, streamers, and D&D lovers. We play D&D on stream. We're doing the 5th edition system with a load of homebrew rules thrown in. Most of us are veterans to the... my lord, hello. Welcome on in. Thank you so much. What the hell? This is the intro. We make mistakes. We do silly things, and yeah, we play D&D and share our homebrew world with the community. And thank you so much for all the love. Thank you. We are going to change things up slightly differently today by not doing the usual introduction of everyone, because you guys should know us by now. Plus, our names are all below the characters that we play anyway. So, Eagle, where can the good people find us?
It's crazy that you ask, Onion, because I know the answer. You can find us over on the Twitter, where you can post tweets and stuff, and you can add us in some fun things. You can also follow the Instagram, which now I have taken control over. I am one step closer of taking control of everything. Watch me. Anywho, yeah, you can go follow the Instagram, where I will be posting things over there now. And on top of that, you can also find us on the YouTube sessions like the last episode. We can watch a shop, which is really interesting. Some of y'all might like watching a shop. I mean, if that's what you're into. There's a lot of good one-shots over there too. You can go watch all that. And you can follow us on the Discord, where we post things and you can talk to us. You can be like, hey, Eagle, you look really good today. I'm like, oh, thank you, you nice little citizen. And then you can be like, oh, hey, Len, nice accent for Shion. That's really cool. Diva Warlock, we dig it. And you can be like, oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's cool. Anywho, y'all get the point. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you so much. Please, someone tell him he looks handsome, because I think he says it every stream. So yeah, cool. Right, well, yeah, without further ado, why don't we kick things off with the recap today and get straight into the session? So, last week's recap. Our session began with the party arriving in Seychelles via teleportation via plants. Maeve wanted to go and rescue her father. However, the departure wouldn't be until at least a day and a half or so the party had plenty of time to kill while in the city. And they spent an awful lot of it shopping. They visited 2 different shops, one of which they spent an absolute fortune at the first one, buying, amongst other things, healing potions, an arrow of dragon slaying, a necklace of fireballs, and a few other little quirks and gimmicks to bolster them up for the next upcoming fight. The owner of the shop was intrigued by the Iron Vortex and agreed to give a nice discount if they would pull some strings back in Arkenvale to potentially get him a little shop there as well. The second shop's owner seemed a lot less professional. He seemed to be interested in all sorts of junk stacked to the roof, furniture, garments, and all other such things. However, the party did find and salvage a few decent things from the rubble itself. Now, as night falls and the party explore the city a little to eventually wind down towards a tavern. As the party enter and the doors swing behind them, they see a figure at the bar that looks very much like Maeve. And as this figure picks up a tankard, pays the person behind the bar, and turns to return to her table, there is a sign of recognition within her face as she looks towards the party, and most importantly, Maeve. The tankard in her grasp falls to the floor, clattering and spilling, and a gasp is heard from the other side of the tavern. And as this happens, Maeve, you also see a figure that looks exactly as she did the last time you saw her. 15 years may have passed, but to a woman of elvish lineage. You know that 15 years has been very kind to your mother, as she doesn't look a day older than the last time you met. What do you guys do?
Maeve just stands in shock.
I
Yes,
guess for
yes.
us it takes a bit longer to connect the dots. Like,
Yeah.
that's a spillage. Sure.
Yeah. I like to think a few of you like look at her, look at Maeve, look at her, look at Maeve, look at her, look at Maeve. Like, yeah, that, and then like, yeah, then the realization like seeps into all of you. And as this happens, you just hear from behind the bar, "Watch it, you clumsy wench! Don't go dropping your tankards. You're gonna make a spillage on the floor." Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'll clean it up. Have you got a rag? And she walks over to the counter, and a rag is passed to her. And as she bends down, she doesn't start to clean, as she waves a hand, and magic cleans the majority of the floor around her. And the bits that she seems to have missed, she then wipes up with the rag. She picks the tankard up, places it on the counter, and then places the rag beside it. I'm sorry. Could I have another, please? And then pulls out a coin, places it on the counter. Maeve?
Just from my understanding, how far away are we from each other?
I'll say like 15 foot. Like there's a little bit of
Yeah.
a gap. You're like at the entrance, she's like at the bar, which is on the back wall.
Okay.
It's not a very big tavern.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Mum? Is that you?
How are you? How are you here?
How are you here? I just came from Stillwater. What's
And she starts walking towards you. She's within a matter of seconds, you just feel her arms wrap around you. And do you reciprocate immediately, or are you still in shock? Like how is Maeve feeling at this moment as your mother's stood before you?
No, Maeve's quite shocked. It's not that she doesn't want to hug her back, it's just more like she can't move.
I don't even know what to say. It's good to see you. I didn't think. Sorry, sorry. I think these people wish to come through. I'm just sat over here. Would you join me?
Yeah, of course. These are my friends. Do we have space for them, or?
Oh, we'll make space. Yes. Follow me. My. And you see her walking off towards the back of the bar, and under the stairs, you see a round table with a 9 or 10-year-old little boy currently sat under the stairs with a couple of cubes of cheese left on a plate and a glass of milk. And as you start walking over, you guys are just a tad behind. I assume you will follow? You follow her, yeah? Maeve as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And as you guys slowly follow behind her, you just hear from the table, Mummy, can we get some more cheese? Yes, darling. Aaron, dear, would you come here? And the little boy scoots off of the bench, walks around the side of the table. What's wrong, Mummy? You know I've spoken about your sister before. The one that had to go away? Yes? Well, this is her. This is Maeve. Would you like to say hi? Hi.
Hi, Aaron. It's nice to finally meet you.
Mummy, can I have some more cheese? Yes, dear. Take a seat. I'll get you some. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, this is. Let me get you all a drink. What would you like?
Well,
Beers, wines, water, milk, juice.
Do you need money?
No, I'll be able to cover it. I'll just get an arrangement. And she walks
Oh,
over to
no.
the bar.
No. I give her a platinum.
What's enough? How do you have this kind of coin?
It's not a story for now.
I'll ask in a second. And she takes it and she places it on the counter. As much food and drink as you can muster. Thank you. And she walks back over to the table. And she sits down with her tankard. And she sits beside her son. And yeah, you guys are all sat around. There's a booth that can fit about 6 people total. And then there's a couple of chairs on the outskirts of it. So the mother will sit slightly in. So if Maeve wanted to sit next to her, you could do. And then the little boy sits the other side. Where would the rest of you sit? Would anyone choose to take a pew on the bench with the boy and his mother? Or would you guys take the seats on the outskirts?
I'd probably go a little bit more in the back. I don't want to disturb this moment.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, I'm a big blue Falcon who has not been from around, so I doubt the boy has seen me before. I'm just gonna place my butt on one of the chairs.
Okay. And Andros?
Oh, I'm here. Okay, cool. I'll
you
sit. I'll sit next to the kid. I don't care. I'll sit next to the kid.
And I'll say, Ahad sits next to you, and you see him start to pull his flute out.
I'll grab his hand. No, not right now. Put that away.
He nods and he puts it back away, and he sits there. And as all of you are sat round, and you guys, I would say, maybe just having some like idle chit chat, just to try and give them a little bit of space and some privacy while they talk. And Maeve, your mother Ayla turns to you, and she grabs one of your hands and then places one of her hands on top of it while holding it. It's good to see you. How are you here? Who are all these people? I've missed you so much.
Mom, it's a long story. Well, you obviously know where I went. I don't think I have to explain that to you. And
I'm aware.
I was summoned to fight corruption outside of the forest, and the path has led me here eventually. I didn't know you were going to be here. But, well, and I look around to see if anyone's eavesdropping.
Yeah, nobody looks like that eavesdropping specifically. There's obviously some people that have taken notice of your group upon entering the tavern. It is quite small, and you're quite a big group of people that have just rocked on in. So, yeah, you've definitely caught the eye of a few people. But yeah, other than that, no one's like close by with an ear, like trying to perceive from what you can see.
Okay, so and I just whisper under my breath, but I heard what happened to Dad.
Yes, we, Your father would have loved to have seen you. He would be so proud of the woman that you have become. You're not just a child anymore, Maeve. But you're right. Your father has been taken by the Golden Order for something that he apparently did years ago. He assures me it wasn't him. He tells me it wasn't, but when he heard what was happening in the Everglade and knew that you might be in trouble, he turned himself in. He told Kellum where he would be. He did it in hopes of being sent there so that he could find you. The Everglade is where you were. where we left you. And your father has never forgiven himself for that. Or me, for that matter. For the choice that I made all those years ago. I'm so sorry. I just want you to know that I have always loved you, Maeve, and I have regretted that decision ever since I made it. You deserved
Mum.
better.
For all those years, I thought you guys left me. It wasn't until recently that I learned what the circumstances were and what the consequences would have been if you didn't. And I look over to Erhard.
Erhard just nods in acknowledgement.
I thought you abandoned me.
It was the
But
only
it's-
way. It was the only way I could see that I would be capable of doing such a thing. Because if I heard you calling for me, if I heard you coming back for me, I would have not been able to leave you there. Your father will never forgive me for what I made him do.
What did you make him do?
He wished to take you and leave Elenasta. He wished to not send you to whatever ritual or blessing or sacrifice that was. It's my family lineage that is the reason that you were sent there in the first place. It's my ancestors that lived within Symmetra. So it is my bloodline that caused all of this.
It's not your fault, Mum. It's whatever happened hundreds of years ago. You don't choose to be born like that. I didn't choose to be born like that. And it's the echoes that choose the child. It's not even... It's out of our power.
I agree, but we still had a choice.
Look, the Golden Order would have hunted you till death if you would have run. And I know that because one of my friends had that happen to them.
Your
It's better
father's-
that...
Go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter. It's better that it went the way it did. Apart from Dad now.
Well, if you're here, and your father's there, it means he won't find you.
We're not originally here to see my dad, but I'm gonna go see him. I'm gonna go help him at the rift.
You can't go back in there. Have you not heard of the things that have happened?
Well, that's what we've been doing. I can't just let Dad go like that.
I can't lose you both. Not again.
Neither can I. That's why I'm going.
With these people?
I actually, I'm going, and they've been a great support, but they don't have to if they don't want to.
Basically, what she means is we are going. We're going with.
Absolutely. Where Maeve goes, we go.
They're
You
good
have-
friends.
You've chosen your friends wisely. Although maybe not so if they're also willing to go where that corruption lies.
It's not our first rodeo, Mum. It's from sea serpents to drakes. We've been there now.
Sea serpents.
It's a long story.
I never thought I'd see you again.
No?
I'm sorry that I gave up hope. Yeah, and at this point,
Yeah.
she's just like bawling her eyes out, like she's
Yeah.
crying like nonstop. Yeah, and like you can see, Aaron is kind of like looking a bit worried, but kind of understands the sort of scenario that he's in, or sorry, that she's in. And he's just very quietly just nibbling at pieces of cheese.
It's okay, Mum. I'm here now. It's all gonna be okay. We'll figure it out. I'll go help Dad. And the Echo said if he defeats the rift, he can close it. He's a free man. We'll sort it out. We'll come home.
Is that what they've said?
I believe so. Yeah. It's Mum. Okay. If he went on his own, he probably wouldn't come back, and I think he knows that. But I believe he's a free man or has earned his freedom back.
So there is still hope. And you see, for like the first time since you've seen her, a slight relief, like a sigh of there's a chance. She thought her husband was gone, like that he was finished. That was the end of his existence. I cannot ask you to go there. I cannot permit you to go there. But I can forbid you for not coming back. So, if you are adamant, you will return with your father. That's an order. I demand it. By any god that's listening, by any person that dare not take a mother's word.
I'll grab her hands. We'll come home. I promise.
When do you leave?
I think tomorrow night? Is that right, guys?
Yeah, around so. Yeah. We got the supplies. It's whenever you like.
I'm sorry. Let me introduce you to everybody. These,
Yes,
obviously.
Sorry. Oh, yes. Hello. Ayla Lenore, sorry. And she extends a hand to Arcturus, we'll say first. You're the one closest to her besides Maeve. And yeah. What are all your names?
Arcturus, ma'am. Pleased to meet you.
And she looks towards Shion.
Shion of House Loranio. Well met.
She looks towards Andros.
Andros. Yeah, that's it.
And then she looks towards Erhard, and Erhard says, Erhard. Weidstaff. And she then looks at the other head of the table, as you then see Galoin sat at the end of the table. Galoin. And he just smiles. Thank you for looking out for my daughter.
Honestly, she's been looking out for us.
She saved us multiple occasions.
She was always a fighter, getting up to no ends of trouble with Kellum back in the day.
Wait, you said Dad handed himself in to Kellum?
Yes. Your father knew that if another of the Golden Order was to find him, that he may not have a chance to speak. the things that he has supposedly done. He thought that they would kill him on the spot. Without a trial, without a hearing. But he knew that if Kellum knew that it was him, that Kellum would at least give him the chance to speak. And he was right. He turned himself in for the sole purpose of trying to help you in the Everglade, from where this corruption has spread. Your father's life before here, before us, was a cruel one. Now he is leaning back into that cruelty to try to find you.
I whisper this. I heard he was part of the Unbound.
You see an instant look of recognition upon her face. Yes. He is what they call a lycanthrope. He is able to change to a hybrid form. In the early days of us being together, he showed me this form as a reason for me to steer clear of him. But all I saw was someone that just needed help. I've always known. I do not condemn him for it. He did not choose that life. It is a curse. I love your father very much. And I would very much like to see him once more.
Me too. I am going to try my very best, Mum, to get us both back, to get everybody back healthy and well.
Yes. Well, well, enough of the waterworks. I've ordered cheese, wine, beers, juices, milks, bread. Fill your boots. And I didn't get your change. I'll be one moment. And she steps up and starts to go over.
Keep it. Keep it for yourself. It's fine.
Let me just get it from the bar. And she walks over and scoops a handful of coins into a hand that luckily no one pilfered while you were having this heart-to-heart. And she places on the counter around about 6 golds worth onto your table. And she sits back down. Well, I'm sure you all have many stories to tell. Where have you been all this time? I would love to know.
Maeve chuckles a bit, looking around at everybody because of knowing how mismatched we are as a group. It's not just my story to tell. These guys have some pretty amazing and interesting backgrounds themselves.
And I will say, if you don't want to be retelling the story thus far, over the next hour, you all share and join in with the conversation to catch her up to speed with maybe the shortened version of your tale. And you tell her of all the places you've seen, all the things that you have done, all the people you have helped, and left out a few of the horrific moments of your journey. And eventually inform her as to why you are here. Would you tell her that you're here to deliver the treaties and such?
I
Hmm.
would, but
Yeah.
I don't know about the others.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine. I
fine.
mean, we
Okay.
Yeah.
Told basically why we went to like Craddock and stuff, so it would make
I'll-
sense.
I'll put it this way then. Is there anything in the story that you definitely don't tell her about?
Katha.
Okay, I assumed.
Leave
as
it
much.
out together, yeah.
I assumed.
Also, Andros wouldn't be talking as much. He'd kind of let the others speak. I'm more so listening, see if anyone's like trying to, and just watching, make sure no one's trying to listen in or look
Okay.
and see what's going on.
Roll me a perception check.
Of course. Here we go.
Just while you scan the bar.
Yep. I get advantage on this too.
You do, yeah, because of your new
Yeah.
shield. Well, that sucks.
Wow! Holy!
You are watching and you are
Yeah.
keeping an ear out for people nearby,
Yeah.
but there's something about the retelling of this story
Yeah.
that draws you in.
Yeah. Andros just
And-
loves
Yeah,
talking. He would.
It's-
Yeah.
yeah. It's more of the fact that you hear of certain moments that you haven't thought of recently, and when you hear of them, it draws you into the rest of the story, and hearing it from everyone else's perspective as well as just your own is intriguing to you. And maybe that's why you're a little bit off your off guard when
The
trying
game.
to off your game a little bit. But yeah, is there anything else
Yeah.
anyone would be avoiding speaking about during this conversation? Don't worry, I'm not trying to catch you out. I just want to,
Might
if
wanna
there's
leave
anything.
out the more horrific parts of the Malakesh story.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the whole-
I imagine your story would start from the trade city. The name has completely escaping me, but the trade city that you all started in.
Grass.
Karas, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it began with an M. Karas, you're correct. Yeah, so yeah, I think your story would have started from when you met and the ordeals that you went through, the path that you took, and helping the different people out, the different folks, and yeah, finally, getting the becoming wardens of Arkenvale, having these treaties that you were delivering to each capital, and your mother's face during most of it is complete shock and awe, because the fact that her little girl, who has been in a forest for 15 years of her life, or at least that's what she's aware of, like, has done all of this in such a short amount of time, there is just this disbelief and proudness that comes across her face. But yeah, I would say about an hour and a half goes by as you all sit within this tavern, and the night starts to draw in more and more, and the tavern starts to get a little bit emptier. And once you finish your story with, and now we're here, she smiles. Well, do you have a place to stay?
Not yet. But I think this tavern is where we're hoping to stay.
Oh, good. Myself and Aaron are staying here for a few more nights.
Where do you live now, Mum?
Canathalor? It's not too far from here. Day and a half's travel at most, south.
Isn't that where the tower is? That weird tower? Explosions and stuff?
Oh, that's, Cathalone.
Oh.
Yes, that's further east, from where we are. There are many farms and, cattle and livestock, and everyone loves to see all the animals. We have a small cottage by the riverbank. It's quite beautiful.
Okay. Just taking notes in my head, Mum, so I remember.
That's okay. It's okay,
So, what brings you to Seychelles?
your father. When they took him away and I got word, I came as fast as I could. And I've been here now for maybe two weeks, maybe nearly 3. They held him here for a while they were deciding what to do with him. but they've transported him now, and he is en route to the Everglade. We booked up for a couple more nights before we were to head home.
Look, let's get some rest. I'm not sure if we leave tomorrow or maybe the day after. But I'll see you before I go. Okay?
Yes, I would very much like that. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so proud of you. And I love this. The paint on your face. And
Thank you.
you're just like you're used to in so many ways. A fighter. A warrior.
Well, you know, I actually had Shion do some really nice makeup on me, but I possibly can't do that myself, so I opted for the face paint instead.
It
It's
works.
beautiful. It really makes you shine. I'm so proud. And she
Awesome.
just grabs like the side of your face and just rubs her thumb across it for a second as you see another tear form in her eye. And she quickly wipes it away. Right, well, young man, I think it's almost your bedtime. And then he grabs his milk and he like starts gulping the last few bits down before he places it on the table. And she says, well, I'll see you in the morning.
Sure. I'm sure I'll see you in the morning before we head out anywhere. I'll make sure I'll see you.
Good.
Sleep tight, Mum.
And you see that like that hesitation. She almost doesn't want to say bye. She kind of wants to stay, but you can see her like the conflict of you haven't seen her, she hasn't seen you in such a long time, and she understands that this is also overwhelming for you as much as it is overwhelming for her, and she's tearing herself away to make sure. But you see her really internally struggling with leaving, and she says, "Good night." And then she picks up the boy, holds him, and he's quite big. He's not tiny, but he's like about 9 years old. And she like picks him up and then like, come on, and then puts him on the top step of the stairs that go up above, and he starts running up, and then she slowly starts going up as well, and then like looks at you one last time before going out of eyesight. And the two of them go.
So that was my mum.
Yeah.
Which is
Just like them.
Not much of a difference there.
Your
She's
brother seems to have your taste for cheese.
it's a good job he's not lactose intolerant with all that milk.
Can you imagine?
If they share a room,
Yikes, me.
it's nice to see them. I'm sorry, it's the first. Imagine being lactose intolerant. You could never eat cheese again.
I'm so sorry,
Really?
Maeve.
What is lactose intolerant?
Oh no.
Is this the time that I get to teach you something, Galoin?
Well, you teach me lots of things, but yeah, sure.
While you do that, I'm gonna go get rooms secured for us, and then so I'll be right back. And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk to the bar.
Okay. And while Maeve starts to explain lactose intolerance to Galoin, yes, Andros, you walk up to the bar and
Yeah.
you see a half-orc gentleman behind the bar, and he's just like cleaning up a few mugs, putting them at the top of shelves, putting some things away. As he looks back at you and he's like, "Yeah,
Hey, how much would 3 rooms cost us tonight? 3, maybe 4 rooms. 4 rooms.
you
Four
want
rooms,
single beds or double beds or twin beds? You also got a luxury room, double bed."
Can we do 3 double and 1 single? There's 7
Double
of us. So
beds.
that makes. Yeah. There's 7 of us. What would you recommend? There's 7 of us.
Well, if you go for the double beds, that means people are sharing. So you don't mind people sharing a bed?
We might. Okay, so what would you recommend then? There's 7. I think
Well, I'd
7 different
recommend
rooms.
I'd recommend the luxury rooms.
Luxury rooms. Okay, how many of those you have?
We got 4 luxury rooms left. They have double beds, extra pillows, blankets, a private bath with a balcony, and room service to the room as well. 2 gold, 5 silver a night.
2 gold, 5 silver a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will for each room. So we'll take.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take 3 of them. Why not? Just in case. Just in the off chance. We'll take 3.
Very well. Is that everything?
Yeah. Oh, can I get 2 bottles of just a drink? Just 2 bottles, whatever.
Of whatever.
Yeah, whatever you recommend. Just give me 2 bottles, whatever you recommend.
Sure.
That doesn't
Sounds
cost too
right.
much. I don't want like expensive.
You see a smirk come across
Yeah.
his face as he went
Yeah.
towards a certain shelf and then moves towards the other one. A bottle of cold style wine, places it on the table.
That makes sense.
We got a small keg of beer.
That's fine. Yeah, it's more
Sure.
keg of beer, sure. How much would that be? All
That'll
that
run
together?
you 17 gold.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll pass 17 gold and. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And you
are these...
pay 7 gold, 5 silver for the rooms as well.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Okay.
I'll just pay for everything.
Cool.
At this point, I'll give him 1 platinum for the rooms. I'll be nice. I'm gonna give 1 platinum for the room.
Oh. Well,
Nice.
take the 4th key, and he gives you the 4th key as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's how
Cool.
much it is. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
So it gives you
Appreciate it.
4 keys to luxury rooms, which have a double bed in it, a bath, extra blankets, pillows, and room service.
Sweet. Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh yeah, you do.
And I'll walk back over with my.
Night of the big spenders, as he slides over the 2nd platinum he's received of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just. I'll pass out rooms, and I'll keep one. I'll keep the 4th one he threw in for myself. I'll slip that in my pocket. But I'll give each.
Who
I'll
do you
give Maeve. I'll give
Yeah.
Shion 1. I'll give Arcturus 1, and I'll give Galoin the other 1. And I'll keep 1.
What? Wait, you give me one?
What's wrong with that, Galoin? Something wrong?
We normally share.
You can hold on to the room key. Yeah, you can hold on to the room key. We have 3 rooms. 3 rooms. It's good.
Maeve,
And he comes
Yeah?
running over to you.
take this room.
And he slides the key in your hand.
You want to share with Andros?
No, but, like, you know, you've had a pretty big day. Have a bath.
Right.
Enjoy yourself.
Have a bath.
Have, like, the
I can't
biggest,
remember the
fluffiest
last
bed.
time I've had a bath.
Well, yeah, then you definitely need the key.
Wait, you're telling me?
Okay.
Are you telling me every day you haven't been bathing, Maeve?
In a bath.
Right, I get it on the road. Maybe you wouldn't have, bathed. We literally stayed in a castle. We've stayed in our own house in Arkenvale. And we've had that day we all went to the spa together. You told me the last time you bathed was in the spa.
Probably, yeah. I'm more
Maeve,
comfortable
that is not healthy. That is totally bad.
Andros, just to be clear, we've been to the sea,
Okay,
which
sure.
is healthy.
That's like salty water, though. That's not like clean
It's good for
water.
your
That's
skin,
salty water.
it scrubs
and
off
fish
all the
poop
dirt.
in there all the time.
Hey, okay, hang on a minute. What is your defense like when you're not wearing anything, huh? And what is mine?
What do you mean if I'm not wearing everything? I'm comfortable not wearing clothes.
Exactly, but how well would you take a hit without it?
Okay, but Maeve, I'm in a room. Who's gonna attack me in my own room?
I'm just saying my skin is healthy and strong.
Okay, But Maeve, when you're in a room, when we're not fighting, we're in the safety of a city, you can bathe. You don't have to worry about people attacking you in the city, okay? We've only had that happen twice.
I did. That's twice more than the normal
Yes,
person.
but we
okay?
weren't in our rooms when that happened. We were out in the streets.
Listen,
I'm going to my room. Y'all, Maeve, you need a bathe. You're gonna take a bath tonight. Shion and Galoin, please ensure.
You would see when you say Galoin, he stood at the bar as he is sliding money over the counter, and they give him another key.
Okay, well, I'm taking my drinks to my room, and I'm going to relax, and I'll just head up.
Andros,
Yeah,
you forgot Tenko.
yeah, I'll take Tenko with me. I'll take Tenko to the room.
Yeah,
I'll take him
and,
up.
yeah, he hands you Tenko, who
Yeah.
is currently tied to a stick. Is that what we did?
I'm gonna put him on my shoulder and just like try
Yeah.
to keep him there and just
The
kind of pet him.
barkeep points at you. Now he sees the owl. Any mess?
I will clean it up. It's okay. I know. And I'm gonna go up.
Fucking owls. And he starts doing his going about his own business as Andros goes up to his room. And the rest of you, do you stay for a little bit longer, have some more drinks, or do you guys head on up as well?
Since like last day was pretty hectic, a lot happened, shopping and such, walking around the city, and I need to perform a ritual. So I'm gonna ask, voluntarily, I'm gonna ask Erhard to join me in the room because he is very good at summoning stuff. Because I'm preparing like a summoning ritual to summon Kayla back from the dead. Yay!
And Erhard is very eager to help. So yeah,
I figured,
definitely follows
yeah.
up. Yeah, for sure. He loves doing that, and he starts talking to you about how some scrolls he's going to sort out and some other stuff he's going to do, and yeah, he starts getting a little excited at the thought of doing some sort of ritual buddy bonding
With
in this
Arcturus.
room. Yeah. So yeah, the two of you head on up, and it's just Shion. Galoin follows them up as well. It's just Shion and Maeve left.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. It's a lot, but I'm okay.
That's a good thing. You should definitely introduce her to Socks tomorrow.
I definitely should. Definitely had him out, but he's been very quiet this whole time. So, but yeah, no. Look, I'm gonna run myself a bath and clean myself a little bit. But if you feel bored, then you can always knock on my door.
Will do. Thank you. And I'll go up as well.
Yeah. And you all head up to your rooms. Is anyone wanting to do anything? You bring Kada back, obviously. Hard does some spell scrolling. Andros, is there anything you wanted to do? Do you just bathe, have a few drinks, and chill out?
Andros would bathe, but once he's done, the lights in his room are completely off.
Mhm.
And he's just going to be sitting there drinking the whole time. Just drinking.
Yeah.
As he hasn't been able to really do something like that since Arkenvale.
Yeah.
So he's
it's been a
just
while.
letting memories and things go through and just drinking.
What do you drink first?
The cold, the
Cold style wine?
Yeah, the cold star wine.
Nice.
That's probably the
Cool,
first
yeah. Cool. And Shion, I assume you bathe, enjoy a luxurious room, although not to your standards, but still better than at most.
Yeah. Well, Shion doesn't need to sleep anymore.
She does
So, see, I'm gonna start off with attuning to the lovely little ring that I got from the walnut shop.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, that book that Grint gave me, that has been sort of oddly attracting to me, so I'm gonna read.
Okay.
I'm gonna read all night.
I'm gonna make a note. And how many hours do you
many
plan
hours
on reading?
How many
The whole
hours
night?
we got? Yeah, how many hours? Like,
It's around about, I'll say, 10 p.m. at this point.
yeah. Well,
So,
obviously I'd taken a bath earlier and I've looked at the ring, blah blah blah. So
So we can say, with, taking drinks, getting some food, chilling out a little bit, you could probably get a good 8 hours in.
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
8 hours, yeah.
I will make a note. 8 hours. Okay. Maeve, apart from bathing and relaxing a little, is there anything extra you would do?
Probably sit out on the balcony.
Yeah.
And
I would say...
maybe just...
Yeah, I would say where you are in the city, which is right on the edge of the wall, your balcony overlooks the wall, and you can see the forests ahead of you.
How
And
high
I would
is the
say
balcony?
you are on the 3rd floor. The luxury rooms are on the 3rd floor. So you are like 30 foot into the air from like the floor. And the walls at this stage are about 25 foot. So you can see just over the top of them. Not by much, but you can see them. And you see the large canopies and the trees that spread out like as the forest around the city surrounds it. And I would say this is probably the closest to nature and comfort and home you've probably felt the entirety of your time. Because even though you spent a night in Stillwater, you remember it. And you remember being there. But the feeling of home, your family, being so close, and everything coming to fruition for you now, you have this sense of not hope, but homeliness kind of like sink in. And there's just a warmness within you at this moment. As you see nature all around, your mother's just a few doors down. You've had time to relax and unwind. And in just a few days, there's a chance you could meet your father.
Yeah. I think what Maeve would really like to do is see if she can somehow get off of the balcony and go for a walk, maybe just for half an hour or so, to empty her head. And make sure that she leaves her door so it can't fall shut and so she can get back in.
Would you be willing to use a wild shape to do so?
No, because I need to keep that to get back in.
But you'd have 2, right? Oh wait, have you
It's
used
still
one
the same
today?
day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then in that case,
But if I hang off the edge and...
I'll make you make a check for me to see
That's
how
fine.
well you achieve it. Athletics or acrobatics, as you either climb down or skip your way down.
I'll athletic.
Go for it. Not a terribly high DC. Oh yeah, you
21.
rolled 'em. You're all good. Yeah, you managed to raw strength your way down by like holding onto lips, lowering yourself down, finding purchase with your feet, and then lowering down. And it's all core body strength that you're using to do this. But you're a muscly woman. You're very strong. You've got this in the bag. You're all good. That upper body strength. Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
you find your way down.
I'm just gonna wander for an hour through the city, and then come back eventually.
How long roughly would you think you'd take?
Like an hour, maybe at tops. Yeah.
Okay, well, as you do this and you return and you climb back up with a wild shape, I presume, of some sort.
Any that, yeah.
Turn into a little
small-
bird and fly up.
I haven't slept yet. How does that work? I know we've leveled up, but we
You've
haven't.
only used one wild shape, right? Oh no, you've used 2.
Right. No,
How many have you used? One.
I've used one. I'm saying we haven't slept yet, so I don't know if technically level 8 counts yet.
I would
Oh.
say this is your attempt at trying it, right? So you're like, the easiest way for me to get up there would be to fly up there. And you think it, and you think it, and you turn into it, and you struggle, but you're like, you go in, and yeah, you manage to flap
It's,
your wings.
it's a chicken, and I could have picked something that flies better, but I just make it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, some of you swear you hear a chicken nearby, but assume it's you
Just
hallucinating
look
before
up
you
from my
sleep.
book like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Shion's the only one that's like, what is going on out there? And yeah, you all eventually fall to sleep, besides Shion. And during this night, in the very early hours, 2, 3 in the morning, can I please have everyone besides Shion remove their earphones or headset, please? So, as you read your book at night, you flick through the pages studying the book of influence and charisma and seeing ways to persuade, deceive, intimidate even, and how to just be more charismatic as a person. And it teaches you different ways of communicating with different folk. It starts to divulge into ways of how more timid folk would be more of a pleasant, softer approach, and angrier folk and burlier folk seem to cower down to power and like a fearlessness. And as you start to read, you hear something. You hear footsteps on the balcony of your room.
It's not a chicken.
It is not a chicken. And as you hear the footsteps, would you be under the covers, sat there, just lounging, or just on top of the bed?
I'd probably be under it, like a little snug.
Yeah. And as you sit there, you see the door of your balcony begin to open. And as you do, a black, dark figure in the moonlight slowly starts to open the door. And as it takes its first step in and sees you, I assume you're looking straight at them. Its posture changes from that of someone trying to be quiet as he stands upright. So it seems we've finally caught up with you.
Do I recognize this person at all?
Roll me a perception check. You do see the figure has a scarf or piece of material in front of his face and nose, pulled up over it. And with a 19, you start to see red scales around the eyes, similar to that of the Drakenborn that you previously encountered in Arkenvale. And as the one figure walks in, another hand closes the balcony door behind him. A lot of trouble for an orb so small. The figure steps to the end of your bed, no weapons out, and places a hand on the bed frame. Don't go getting any ideas. We're aware of what you're capable of. We believe we know the goal that you seek.
Do you?
You carry it for another,
Am I wrong?
There are hundreds of thousands of people.
A being not from this plane. Shion of House Loraniel. A being of pure fire. One by the name Malakesh.
You've done your research quite well.
That's why we are here. Come to make a deal. Between you and us. We understand that we have been a hindrance to you in the past. And we understand that this orb binds you to him.
Not just me, as I'm sure you're well aware.
You see the creases of the fabric as the mouth smiles beneath the material.
We wish for you to carry out your task. We wish for you to return the orb to his tomb. But we ask that from whence you return it, you allow us to do what we need.
Which is what exactly?
If you return the orb to Malakesh's tomb, he will be free. Free within the material plane to do his bidding. We wish to contain him. Bringing the orb back to him will allow the two powers to fuse together. And in doing so, will allow him the strength to release himself from those shackles.
And what do you expect he'll do?
A great manner of things. Things that do not align with either you or me. I am the right hand of Ariel, the Queen of Ashes. My name is Silas, and I am true to my word. If you promise to continue on as you are, to return said orb to his tomb, and allow us to bind him once more, we will not interfere with your plans, and you will not stop us in ours. Either that, or I take the orb now. But you and I both know we don't want the fight. Many of us have died, and many more of you will. You get your bargain, I get mine.
What about... You've done your research well. What about Arcturus?
What
Like I
about
said,
Arcturus?
I am not the only one bound by this orb. Even if I make a promise now, he might take it from me and release Malakesh regardless.
Your binding stipulates you must return it to him, correct?
Yes.
Then I would like for you to convince Malakesh to remove his shackles before the orb is returned. We're outside of the tomb, stood in the corridor before his chamber. However, you very well please. All we ask is that when you leave that orb in that tomb, you do not stop us from what is to come.
Seems I have hardly any choice right now.
You have every choice, but you have the right one and the wrong one.
I'm sorry, Arcturus is singing in the back.
At this, with the hesitation of Shion's word, he doesn't attack, but he extends an arm as blue flame appears as a sword forms in his hand. And as he clutches it, you see the same carvings that you have on your chakrams on his blade.
Very well. I accept your deal.
And as he does, he throws his hand out again, and the blade burns away, dissipating.
You have mine too. Shion of House Loraniel, I wish you well on your travels. We will be in contact when you make it to Quirin.
Very well.
Enjoy your evening.
And he walks towards the door, and someone else opens the door for him. And as he walks out, you hear the strain of, like, weight pressed on metal. And do you peer to see what's happening, or do you just continue reading?
No, I wait to see what's happening.
Okay. And you see them both stood on the railing of your balcony, as one of them performs a circle before them, and as they press through it, they both float and fly off into the night.
Neat trick. Need to learn that.
And then you return to your 8 hours of reading. And yeah, I'm gonna just call the rest of the gang in. As everyone starts to come back. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Let's wait for Tim to put his in as well. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, and at that, it is the morning as you all get a long rest. You get the benefits of a long rest. You get all of your hit points back, any levels of exhaustion removed, spell slots back, and everything good as your evening went relatively undisturbed. As all of you begin to awake. Maeve, as you're getting your things together, you hear a knocking at the door, like rapid, like a little bit hurried.
Okay, I'm coming, and I like pull up some clothes and like
Yeah.
open the door.
And as you open the door, you see no one, but then look down and see Aaron.
Oh, hi, Aaron.
Hey, Mum said to bring you some waffles, and he's holding a little tray.
Oh, thank you. Are you guys sitting downstairs?
Mum's just gone to do some things, but she said she'll be back in like 5 minutes. So I was to bring you some waffles and then go wait for her downstairs.
Do you want to have some waffles with me? I can't eat all of these.
He like looks down the corridor to make sure his mum's not there. And then he like nods.
Go on. I've also got some cheese. I don't know if they go well together, but
Yeah. And he steps in. And yeah, he'll eat like a quarter of a waffle. Like he doesn't want much, but he just wants some of it. And yeah, he like sits on the bed swinging his legs. And he's like, "Your room's really nice."
no, thank you. Do you guys have a different room? Are you sharing with Mum?
Yeah. We have a twin room.
Oh, okay. How are you liking social?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot here.
Compared to kind of the lore?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever grow up in Stillwater, or do you not remember?
No.
No, okay.
I
It's probably
haven't
been a
there.
while. Okay. Well, I'm sorry
Is-
about
Is Socks out at the minute, sorry?
Socks was out since I think yesterday afternoon.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. As you're talking to him, you see his attention drift. As he's clearly spotted Socks on like a dresser, like trying to eat a plant, which is part of like the decoration in here. And he's just like staring over there as you like go to say what you're about to say.
Never mind. Do you want to go say hi?
Yeah?
Socks! Come on over.
And Socks like immediately looks around and pretends like he wasn't doing whatever he was doing, and then starts climbing down the dresser and then starts running across the floor. And yeah, he climbs up onto the bed. And like Aaron's just kind of like staring at him like wide-eyed, like this is cool.
You can touch him. Just be careful of the top of his hat, because it doesn't like it there.
Okay. And he like just puts a finger out, and Socks like grabs his finger, like, and he like puts his mouth on it, and then just like pulls away, like he's not impressed with the flavor. And the little kid's just like, oh, like he like wipes his finger on. But yeah, after like a few minutes, you see them not playing, but you see Socks being Socks, and Aaron is just amazed at everything he's doing as he's like eating random things and like just being Socks, being a little nightmare. But yeah, and
Yeah.
for a few minutes, you see this. And while you two bond for a bit in the morning, everyone else, what are you guys up to? Who'd like to
Do I have to make a roll in the morning?
Would you have intended to drink all of the alcohol that you bought?
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw, then, please.
Oh. Okay.
With advantage.
No. Not the alcohol. I meant over my item I have. The belt.
Well, first of all, Constitution saving throw with
Okay.
advantage,
Yeah, with advantage.
because Andros,
Yeah, 23.
now that you have this belt that you
Mm-hmm.
have around your waist, you realize that it gives you a heartier stomach. And alcohol doesn't seem to be as effective as it once was. As you seem to be able to hold and, take a lot more liquor than you once were able to. And as you ponder this, and you go to scratch your chin as you sit on your bed, roll me a D100, please.
Let's
I
go.
need to just double check the item, because this is the belt of dwarven kind.
27.
I feel like that's not enough, but let me just have a look.
Has to be enough.
Yeah, as you scratch your chin, no difference.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to do in the morning?
No.
Arcturus, as you awake, Takeda flying around the room, along with Olaf also flying around the room as they are doing laps in a big circle above your bed. And yeah, you and Erhard are starting to prepare for the day. And Erhard is actually already ready. He's dressed and ready to go very early. And just as he goes to leave the door, he realizes that you're awake and starting to get ready as well. And he says, Arcturus, I'm going to meet with Houndir.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Where are you meeting exactly?
The Hall of the Echoes?
Oh, right. When will you meet?
Oh, I'm going for my father's research.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we're all meant to be there later today. If you would come and find me later.
How much time do you need? No, I know how to steer the group.
Till midday?
Sure. Also, do you remember that item we found in the tower? It's the hourglass, right?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. Can I do some research on it while you're away?
Yeah. And he passes you it. I'm not using it anyway.
Oh, good. I'll inform the others if they don't catch you, and we'll catch you by midday. And thanks for your help with Kata.
Yeah, no worries. Right. See ya. And as he walks out the door, and the door shuts, you start to hear music playing from the other side and getting quieter and quieter as he's pulled out his little flute and is playing it on the way to the Echo's chamber. And all of you start to hear the very obvious noise of Erhard as he's leaving the tavern. And yeah, Beyond.
Well, I need to take some time to compute what happened last night, but at the same time, that book is just so interesting, I cannot put it down. So I guess I'll come out eventually. Like, yeah, fine. I'll stop reading for now. As soon as I can get my hands on that book again. So yeah, I guess I'll just go down, have some breakfast.
Read while you eat.
Yeah.
Flicking through pages.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll add an extra hour on as the morning progresses.
Like book against like a tankard of milk.
Yeah, and like a spoon, just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Yeah, and I would say that eventually Aaron and Maeve and Socks all come down as well. Andros, you come down. And yeah, the only person that's currently missing is Erhard, as your mother does end up coming through the front doors. Not too long, maybe like 15 minutes after you and Aaron had a little bit of time alone. And yeah, as you're all eating breakfast, she comes on in. Good morning, all. I've heard rumors of an iron vortex in the city. That's you guys, isn't it?
Yep, you caught us.
Wow. Well, when you told me all the stories last night, I'd heard of the name Iron Vortex, but only in brief passing. I hadn't actually heard of the stories that you had achieved. You really have done all those things.
What did you think we were just telling stories, or?
Well, when I hear of fighting a sea serpent on
on a ship, diving underwater to chase it to its lair, fighting. Did you say a devil in Ashendale? Or stopping a devil, fighting some gnolls? They're very extravagant, but they're actually true. All of them.
You also left out the part that where Maeve like transformed the animals and beat the shit out of them.
Yes, yes.
Wait,
Also-
I beat the shit out of animals, or
No.
No. Never mind.
You're a fully fledged druid, so you are capable of changing form.
yeah, but Mom, I was thinking about this last night. You know how you said Dad's a lycanthrope?
Yes.
For a while, I've had this anger, this rage inside me that bubbles up every once in a while, and I blamed it on not understanding what happened and how I grew up the last 15 years. But maybe it's the rage that you explain in that.
It could be, yes. Yes, it could very well be his more primal savage side, yes.
I would explain it.
Well, you are very much like him. Although you are a spitting image of me, you're much more like your father.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know, guys. Do we know what the plan is?
No. All I know is we have to meet with the Echoes.
Yeah, where's Erhard?
He's at the Echoes
Why aren't we at the Echoes?
because we have breakfast. Maeve, come on.
I don't. Did we miss a meeting? Has he gone on his own? I heard the flute go.
I'm just kidding with you, Maeve. He's doing
First-
some research on his father.
First, she doesn't bathe.
Oh.
Second, now she's trying to take away breakfast.
Andros, can you imagine? In the beginning, she couldn't even know what coin was.
Yeah, you can imagine.
I need to know what a lactose intolerant is.
Yes, how do you know about that?
Callum's lactose intolerant.
Oh, of course.
We found out. We found out, obviously, the hard way.
Yes, the boy can certainly eat a lot of cheese, and it didn't go too well for him, if I remember rightly.
It's smelly.
Didn't the pair of you try to eat an entire wheel of cheese before?
Yes. I do remember that. It didn't end very well for Callum. He was stuck in the toilet all of the next day.
Yes, I remember his mother not being too happy with us. Did you say you've been to Stillwater?
Yeah, that's actually where we came from yesterday. I assume we told her how we met with the Echo, and that's how we got this.
Yeah. So you met with Callum's mother?
Yeah, I went to our house first, of course, and you weren't there. So I went to Callum's house next, and his mother was there. She was walking around the house doing some stuff with firewood, and then she thought I was you at first.
I can see why you certainly have taken after me. Although, like I said before, a little more wilder.
Yeah, I said that too. But well, she was very happy to see me regardless, and telling me all about Kellum and how he is a blade singer now, and how my uncle got him into that job.
Yes, yes. Erwin is he's busy commanding certain forces within the Golden Order. And when Kellum shown arcane potential into his young adulthood, yes, Owen made sure to steer him down the right path.
Yeah. Yeah, so Percival was still there, and Darian.
How are they?
Percival was good. Darian, you know what? I don't think I've actually seen the actual Darian. You know how I told you about Mommy Fortuna?
Yes, yes.
Is she had like a doppelganger of Darian? I don't.
Right.
Do I recall a memory of seeing the actual Darian?
You do not.
No, I don't think I saw him.
Well, I hope he's well. Would you mind if I accompanied you today? If me and Aaron came with?
The Echoes?
Wherever you decide to go.
I mean, it's fine with me. Of course, I don't know if they'll let you in. That's
fine. I'm happy to wait outside. Just if you're going there, I've decided that I wish to spend at least the last day with you for as long as possible.
yeah.
And
no,
it would be
of
good to
course.
have a role model around for Aaron, wouldn't it? And he looks up and he's like, "Have you met Socks, Mummy?" What do you mean Socks, dear? And he just points towards your shoulder, and she's like,
Yeah, imagine
"Oh,
he was hiding in
yeah,
the hair or
yeah.
something. I don't know.
my."
This is Socks.
Pleasure to
Socks.
meet you,
This is
Socks.
Mum.
And he just makes a little noise, looking at her. But yeah. Well, if you wouldn't mind my company for the day.
No, and it's fine, right, guys?
Yes, obviously.
Thank you.
Of course.
I'll be of no trouble, no bother. If I need to wait outside of wherever you're going, I'll wait.
Okay. I don't think did you want to go for that walk, Shion, in that park, or are we just going to the Echoes?
I suppose we still have some.
Time.
Yes. Erhard told me to tell you guys that we would meet around midday at the Echoes.
Plenty of time then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I will say then that you guys leave the tavern. You head on over to Kalir's Garden, I think it was called. Let me just jump on over to this page here. Number 19. As you guys head on over to Kalir's Garden, and yeah, you guys start walking around, and it is a beautiful part of Seychelles. It is a part of the forest and nature built within the confines of a city. A city district. It is full of trees, full of plant life. It is quite a huge park. Just to walk from one end to the other is like a 30-40 minute walk, so it is quite a big area. And throughout there are small dirt paths. They haven't incorporated stone or gravel or anything like that to disturb the wildlife. They've tried to keep it as nature orientated as possible. And yeah, there's lots of birds, there's some badgers, some foxes, and it is just somewhere for the wildlife to live within the city, as the city takes up part of where the wildlife used to live before it became such a big metropolis city. And I think during this time, as you all wander through the park with Aaron, sorry. Aaron looking around at all the different animals, and some of you just enjoying a little bit of a break from the city itself. We'll cut to a break, and we'll come back to about midday as you guys head towards the Echo's chambers, unless obviously there's something you want to do before. But yeah, we'll take a quick 5 or so minute break, and we'll be back in a little bit. So guys, take care. See you in about 5. Goodbye.
Our one shots.
Hello. Welcome back. Hope you got some good snacks, got yourself some good drinks. I can't speak. But yeah, we have rejoined. Yes, we have the Volvic trio, because 3 of us are drinking it right now. We are returning back to our session as the gang had an hour or so walking through the quite pleasant nature reserve of Kalir's garden, and as the party return, they are heading towards the halls of Echoes. And as you guys walk across the bridge across the river, where you see quite a few fish and the streams going by, you do notice as you get to the bridge, a few of the fish fly out of the water over the bridge and land back down at the other side of it. You guys get to it, and you wait a minute, you wait for some fish to fly over, and then you very quickly, cross over the bridge so as to not get hit by a flying fish. And as you guys walk across the other side, you realize that this part of the city is very much like Kalir's garden. There are trees all around, and there is a tree that stands well over 100 feet tall in the middle of this city. And it just shoots up into the sky with various branches and canopies all up in within it. But through the cracks of the branches, you see candlelight and other such magics from within. As you walk up to the base of the grandiose tree, you are presented with a few of the Golden Order, who, upon your arrival, realize who you are, nod, and begin opening the oaken doors towards the tree. As you walk on inside, you are met with very lavish and luxurious tapestries, floating, not hung or nailed to the tree itself, but floating just a few inches away from the woodwork. And as you walk in, you see chairs and tables, staircases that ascend into different parts of the canopies. But before you, you see Houndir, the tall, very slender, thin drow with the silvery white tattoos painted around the eyes and the flowing robes. And as Houndir looks towards you all, yes, we've been expecting your arrival. Are you all present? I'll make sure to make someone go and fetch him for you. Are you all ready to present your treaties to the Echoes? That is why you're here, correct?
We guess, and I look over at like Maeve, Andros, Shion.
Very well.
Yeah.
Follow me. And he starts to lead you down one of the hallways, and as he does, eventually you get to another set of oaken doors, and as you walk through, you see a load of steps in the center of this room that raise to a slightly raised platform. Within, you see 4 wooden chairs, one of which with decorative details of snowflakes and snow, another with decorative details of flowers blooming and budding. You see another of the sun and an oaken tree in full life, and then finally the last one that you see, pardon me, is a tree that's starting to wither and fall. And within this room you see 4 individuals. First of all, you recognize these 4 from the descriptions you were given previously. You see a Langley Featherbrook, a half-elven man standing at around 5'9", quite a rather stocky build, broad shoulders, wearing a set of golden trimmed white silken robes. You see he has a clean-shaven face with a very firm, almost angled jawline. You can see that he has wavy, medium-length hair pushed back out of his face with a joyful smile across it. he stood in the one with the sun and the oak tree. Besides that, the echo of spring, you see Yasella Sunsgale, a elven woman around about 5'6", quite short, petite woman with a slender build, long platinum hair that flows below her waist, bright blue eyes that catch your attention with an air of nobility about her, and she's currently wearing a sage green dress and a flower crown atop her head, and on her right arm you see these silver bangles and bracelets that go from the wrist all the way to the shoulder, and you can see a slight light blue glow coming from them as Arcturus, Erhard, Shion and Maeve, probably not Andros, but everyone else would see that there are some arcane sigils carved into them. And yeah, you see her there. You also see on the slightly withered looking tree, which is the Echo of Autumn, you see Yondil the Weave Carver. You see stood before you a very strong, muscular wood elven hunter. He's standing at around 5'11", with a rugged beard and dreadlocks that are tied behind him to his back. You see he is wearing a leather sleeveless vest with green 3/4 length shorts with no shoes on at all. You can see tribal tattoos all up his arms, and across his face you can see some like war paint, not too dissimilar from Maeve's herself, across his face, and he is currently got a spear in one hand, leant across one shoulder as he just kind of like gazes upon you all as you walk in. And then finally, you see Houndir walk up to the Winter's throne, and as he stands up there, he bows and nods to the rest of the Echoes as they all take a seat. As they all take a seat, you all begin to enter and stand before them as your mother and brother are taken to one side to sit in some chairs to observe the ongoings, with which Galoin also sits beside them. And as the three of them sit down and the rest of you stand before these, Erhard is hurried in behind you and stands there with like a load of paperwork and bundles of notes and stuff as he just stands there with you all. And at this, the Echo of Summer, Langley Featherbrook, stands, and with his immaculate hair pushed back and his clean shaven face, he gives a smile to you all as he begins to speak. And he will say, well, greetings, Iron Vortex. We've been actually expecting you for quite some time now. We received a missive from just a few days ago, informing us of your current goals. We've taken some thought to this unity, and we've decided that it would be wrong for us to ignore this, especially during these trying times. Do you have the treaties upon you?
We do.
I would look at Erhard.
Yeah.
Erhard awkwardly just like stands there waiting for like, oh, and then like rootles into a bag and pulls the correct treaty out that you need for it, and he passes it to Arcturus, and then Arcturus, I assume you pass it over to a servant that is nearby that takes it for them. Good news. You see, as with Orantis, we have our own struggles, which I believe Houndir has already informed you of. We believe that if a group that is brave enough to attack Arkenvale clearly do not threat the rest of our defenses either. So we think that we should agree to these such treaties and unite as one for all of Northern Veritas. All of us Echoes here have come to an agreement, and we believe that that would be the just course of action. However, as you all know, our forces are stretched thin with our current predicament. But Houndir does tell me that a few of you, when last spoken to, wish to maybe alleviate our situation?
Yes. travel to the Everglade, is it?
Correct, yes. Would you all, I beg your pardon, just so we know who is who, would you please introduce yourselves to us?
Well, since I was the one who started speaking, I'm Maeve Lenore
He nods.
from Stillwater. Now look to the next person, whoever is standing next to me.
Arcturus, it's a pleasure to meet you, scientist and magical inclined.
He nods, looks at whoever's next.
Shion of House Loraniel. Pleasure.
And again, looks towards Andros.
Andros.
Erhard Weiderstaff. And he bows. Very well. As we spoke earlier, for your friends, your acquaintances, Erhard has been to a hearing as of this morning, and that hearing has declared him to be a victim of the circumstances as Houndeer presented his case to us all. And Maeve, we would all like to apologize for you and your family's trying times. Your father's crimes will not be forgotten. However, he has done the just thing in taking on a task that no mere man would.
Can I steal a...
Mhm.
No, I thought you were finished.
Yeah, if he was to successfully deal with the rift, he would be free of his crimes, but banished from Elenasta for good.
Insight.
You want to insight check it?
Yeah, I want to insight check
Go
that.
for it.
And can I steal a glance at my mother?
Yeah.
20.
20. Andros, you get the sense that although he is putting on a face, he is trying to be chipper, he is trying to be enthusiastic about this. There is something telling in his character, in his manners, that he doesn't seem to be quite happy with the result. From him personally, he has expressed it to you all, but there's something about how he said it that you pick up on, that he shows a little bit of disdain for allowing him to be gone.
Do I see any remark from anyone else present, like the other three? Do I pick up any like that from them as well? Or...
I would say with a 20, because you were inciting him,
Yeah.
I will say that the two beside him, which is Houndeer and Yashella, Yasella, sorry, those two both didn't seem to show any disdain.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's because you didn't pick up on it, or whether they didn't show any. Yeah, the only one that you really noticed to have an issue with this was Langley, which is the gentleman speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, and as he does, he smiles once more, and yeah, you catch a glance at your mother, and you can see there's a slight smile across her face, but there's also a little bit of dread, as banishment wasn't something that she was told previously, and obviously you didn't know yourself to tell her. But yeah, there's still that glimmer of hope. There's still that chance that he could return. But yeah, as he says this, so the Iron Vortex
saviors of Ithaldor from the sea serpent, helpers of Arkenvale, wardens of Arkenvale, may I add. Are you to take upon the request of Elenasta and head to the Everglade to attempt to stop this portal of the Shadowfell? To save those of the forests of Elenasta? To rid us of this evil? What say you?
Before we answer that, can I do a check whether to see he is actually believing us or he's kind of mocking us the way he said it?
You want to go for an insight check?
Yes.
Go for it.
18.
18? You get the sense... Yeah, you get the sense that knowing a very little amount about how the echoes work within Syshil and within Elenasta, you had previously heard that depending on what the season was, depends on who's in charge. Knowing that it is summer right now, you know that Langley Featherbrook is definitely the one in charge, and you get the feeling that he is trying to show some authority and trying to give off a bravado that he believes in you to an extent. He doesn't truly believe that you're capable of doing this, but he's made comments of your previous, things that you've done to defend these other folk, and it's not mocking per se, but it is a little in jest. It's almost like, it's a little bit like, oh yeah, you saved people from a sea serpent? Well done. Like, it's kind of like we're dealing with a real threat sort of situation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, and he stands there with one arm out, gesturing towards you all.
Just look over at Maeve. Like, this is your call.
Before we answer, can I ask one thing? Unrelated,
By all
but
means.
important.
Go ahead.
How
Maybe
do the-
Lenore.
How do the echoes come to their conclusion of which child to send to the Everglade?
You say that, and the faces of all four of them change. You see the demeanor of some of them looking relaxed, and some of them scouring towards you change to almost like a how dare she sort of like question. But Langley regains composure as he looks towards you. The Guardians of the Everglade have been necessary for many a year to keep these threats at bay. Symmetra was transported, taken, if you will, from us. And for that, those that cower and hide in whatever veil that they are from, or within, deserve to send their prodigies forward to defend the land that they once called their own. This has been the law since the time of Symmetra's passing. It has been the law that someone must tend to the land in which Symmetra once stood. This has been the law for decades.
I raised my
Right.
hand.
Yes, Loxodon, Andros.
So basically, child labor. Just trying to put a definition there.
Being not from these lands, a child is of pure of heart.
allowing one that has seen the vices of life enter such a sacred grove could in fact corrupt and send the land into a spiral. Since Symmetra's passing, and the events of a certain Vide staff, the veil has been at its thinnest, and those corrupted desires could be the collapse of it all. We send those of pure hearts to learn from the land, to tend the land, to protect the land.
And to possibly die. Right. Thank you. That's all I need to know. All I need to know.
Considering the situation, Andros, Benson's probably dead. I look for their reactions.
You see Langley's face doesn't change. Roll me an insight check. As you kind of try to perceive from them how they respond to the name of Benson.
Do I get a roll as well?
15.
If you want to, sure.
Yeah. I would definitely want to gauge this. 21.
Okay. Yeah, so with a 15, you see that Houndir looks mournful, as if there has truly been a loss. You see Yasella, there is a saddened expression, but it's not as deep as Houndir's. You see that Yondil's face is very stoic, doesn't change. And Langley's face remains intent on the conversation at hand, as if he has tried to keep to grips with his emotions during this conversation. Andros with the 21, you can definitely see Langley is starting to become irritated.
Okay.
So, your objective has been completed here. We agree to your treaties and your people's treaties. We wish to help those in need, but at a time such as this, our druids, our Golden Order, are currently at their limits, defending our own people. If this threat was to be abolished, to be removed, we would be able to expend our resources elsewhere.
What time? What time is the arrival of my father?
Your father is to arrive this evening. We are awaiting word of the wagon. It should be there by nightfall. At the very latest.
So that would be when we leave.
Yes, if you are planning on heading in that direction, certainly.
Well, whether it's for good or bad, I'm going.
And for that, we thank you, Maeve Lenore, for the duties that you carry out to protect the Everglade, as you have done these past 15 years. To return once more and cleanse the corruption in which formed after your departure. We thank you.
Don't you worry,
It's
Maeve.
okay.
I'll be there with you.
Thank you.
Will I?
All of us will.
And I'll nudge Heart.
Yeah, Hart's like reading through some notes while like also listening, and he's like, yes, I'll be going. Very well. The Iron Vortex comes to the aid of Saishil and Elenester as a whole. Let's hope that we can add this to one of your tales as well. And if you are to carry out this task, do you have any requests from us? Something we could do in the event of your success? Would you need aid in continuing to deliver these treaties? Maybe we could provide transportation, or help you in this endeavor.
We have more places that we need to travel to. Kuvak is one of them. Our current way of transportation might not be available to us after this. At least not for the long distance that we're traveling. So I am sure that we would benefit from any type of transportation.
Houndir stands up, and you see Langley's head like turn to the side as if to be like, how dare you like rise. And Houndir says, I am in fact familiar with some of the trees of Kavak. I may be able to transport you via plant life once more.
That's what
I-
we want.
It would cut maybe a week or two's travel. I could not get you to the capital, but I could get you more than halfway.
Right. What about you, Shion? Anywhere you want to go?
Other than home, I doubt you could provide us with transportation all the way back to Quirin after we came from Kuvak. So, I mean, considering the rather landlocked location we find ourselves in right now.
We could not provide you teleportation means, but leave it with us. We might be able to think of a way. We could pull some strings, as we do have some favors that could alleviate your journey.
Thank you.
Well,
Let's first get out of this alive, shall we?
indeed. I truly wish you all a safe and successful travel. From our understanding, the portal to the Shadowfell itself is being held open from within. To close such a thing would mean transporting through it. I do not know how much time you would have from stopping it to it fully shutting.
When, I don't know if this is a dumb question, maybe you know this, Arcturus, but when you shut a portal from the inside, how do you get out?
Unless you have another portal, you don't. Because otherwise, it was easy for me to go back.
Or can we also just include that maybe a rift is different than an actual portal itself? Maybe there's a little difference. Maybe the rift closes after like a few minutes.
At this, Houndir speaks up again.
You would in fact be correct, Andros. A portal is merely opened for the uses of one that opened it. A rift is more like a tear, a scar. It is something that will gradually close once the thing that is holding it open is dealt with. We have done extensive research on Orthodox notes on how he closed the rift to the Nine Hells. We believe that with the rift being visible on both sides, the demons or devils that constructed such a device had managed to create an arcane focus as such to keep it from closing from one side. We believe that a being in the Shadowfell has done such a thing here as well. Destroying this arcane focus that is holding this together would in fact begin the process of closing the rift to once again a scar. Once this scar has been sealed almost shut, our druids will be able to close it for good.
As a scholar of planar travel, I would like to maybe study those notes of Orthodox if possible.
You certainly could. You have the day. Well, half of it.
That's all I need.
Very well, we can arrange for such a thing to happen. Can't we, Langley? Well, the Iron Vortex, being the heroes that they are, I'm sure we could spare some of the research we have acquired over the years.
I'll do like a formal bow, like acknowledging their
I will also state, in Houndy's absence of thought, there are, as you can imagine, many creatures that stand before you and the rift itself. We have devised a wall of thorns around the Everglade, and a being of Fey magic is keeping things from exiting that wall of thorns from within. Many of the beings that have emerged from the rift have taken a form that is natural to the area. There will be many blighted creatures and necrotic beings of nature. I would be very careful upon approaching.
This Fey being, does it have a name?
Yes, it is a being that has lived within the Everglade, and one, I imagine, you may have seen or heard during your time. We know it by Dianthus.
Yep, I know the Anthers.
It has been about a month since we last heard from her. We believe that she may be in peril, but the people we have sent within have never returned.
I saw her a few days back, but she
did?
seemed to be struggling.
Yes, she is currently creating a barrier from within, not allowing anything out. We are creating a barrier of thorns to prevent things from breaching her barrier if her magic was to fade. I do fear that maybe she has been compromised.
Perhaps. Is there anything that you guys know that we don't that would be essential?
We have sent many. A strong druid, a blade singer within. No matter what enters, it never returns.
Okay.
We also have not heard word from the current guardian, as you mentioned previously.
Yeah. Benson is an 8-year-old child learning about how to be a druid. I don't imagine he would have stood a chance.
Let us hope that he still lives. And let us hope Dianthus is there to protect him.
Right.
And the kid isn't alive?
Then he did his part as the guardian of the forest, and another will be selected.
There has to be a better way to go about that. If every time a child goes who doesn't know what they're doing, I was lucky that my time there was quiet. I wouldn't have stood a chance if this happened 15 years ago. How is this the best way of protecting a corrupted forest? Sending children.
As I said, with the veil being so thin, from the transportation of Symmetra, if we were to send someone of darker vices, it would create more rifts and negative energy within a space so delicate.
So child has to suffer because of other people's mistakes.
One pure of heart.
Well, can I suggest that if we succeed this, it is heavily reconsidered if there is another way to go about this. Perhaps sending more that are pure of heart so that they are not alone and actually stand a chance.
Succeed first. And prove to us that you know what you're talking about. I believe this meeting is adjourned.
As he then sits down in his chair. And you can see there's tension. There's tension between the echoes. You see Hounday doesn't look too impressed with Langley. Langley just looks pissed off at this point. You've got Yasella, who's a little conflicted, and you have Yondel, who... You see Yondel definitely understands where you're coming from, but also realizes the severity of keeping the Everglade pure.
Okay. Well, Maeve's gonna look at her mother and start walking out.
Yeah, and your mother stands up, Erin stands up, Galoin, and yeah, you all start leaving. And her hard bows, drops a piece of paper, picks it up, holds it, and then runs on out after you guys. And yeah, you all leave the halls. Do you go outside, or do you just stay in a hallway to chat quickly, or do you try and leave the entirety of the halls? What's your plan?
How much time do we have left?
At this point, I will say about an hour's passed. So you're looking at around about 1:30-ish. You've probably got 5.5, 6 hours max before you're gonna start getting ready to leave.
The only thing that I want to do is like check the notes for any clues, information, or whatever we can use. We don't have to like RP that or something. We can.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, what we'll so what I'll do is we'll have someone come and escort you, Arcturus, and I think Erhard would probably just come with you because it's Erhard. So the pair of you two will go off to start to study some of Orthodox's notes on how rifts are formed, and like it's more of a healing than it is a on and off switch. And it's more like a scar in the sky, but when a unit or some sort of arcane focus large enough is channeled to it, it can keep it stable. And the notes that you find after quite a bit of digging through various documentation and very, very old, because this is 700 years old plus notes. Like some of these are like really crinkled up pieces of parchment. But yeah, you get through it, and yeah, it appears to be that something has to power the arcane focus, and if the focus is powered and channeled to the rift, the scar, it can keep it open. But once the thing that is powering the arcane focus is destroyed or removed, then the arcane focus's power no longer keeps it open, and it will slowly start to close to almost fully closed, which then you could use magic to fully close it. But once it is to that like very minimal scarring state, you cannot pass through it because it's almost like, I don't know how to describe this. We'll do it through TV. In Stranger Things, where they have the holes in the ground, and it's like that slimy, gooey thing that you have to like push through, like a membrane wall. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like that membrane wall, but it won't snap. But like you would feel your fingers like pushing against it, and it'd be like horrible. But that's what it'd end up being before it's fully sealed.
I have to admit I haven't seen Stranger Things, so but
okay.
The second explanation was good.
Okay, but yeah, it's like a very thin membrane wall that with enough power, if you were an arcane caster of considerable power, you could definitely tear that back open, which is probably what's happened in this scenario. Some power or force has opened it from the inside.
Yeah. Would I or Erhard also recognize some sort of power, or is it like something we have to experience before?
Yeah, you would just know that there would to reopen a like almost sealed like rift, it would be on the level of like almost godhood. It would be incredible power. You probably think in your mind, not that you know the extent of this person's power, but someone like Malakesh, if he was to find a rift like this, who knows, he might have that sort of power. But that sort of, when I say like very powerful, it's that sort of level. Yeah, so something very powerful has opened it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then created a housing unit to keep it open. So yeah, I would say that takes you a good few hours.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
you guys rooting through notes. The rest of you, I imagine Shion has gone for some light reading, perhaps.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to take the whole time to read?
Yeah, why not?
I'll put you down for another 6 hours because you have to do a certain amount of hours with a certain amount of days. So yeah, you're all good.
I feel like it's having this sort of magical attraction to me that I feel like I have to read this.
I like to think during that whole meeting there was a time where you kind of like glanced at the book and you were like,
oh
I
yeah,
could totally be reading this.
Massively distracted.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Andros, is there anything that you would like to do during this time, or are you just
I will just stick around with Maeve since everyone else has just left, gone off. So I'll just stick around with Maeve, and if she needs anything, I'll be there.
Cool. And Maeve, you have quite a few hours to spend with your mother, your brother. You can. What would you like to do?
Could there be a moment somewhere where it's maybe just Andros and I in the back somewhere, like behind Mum and Erin?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Andros,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any like a old spare dagger or a knife or anything that you don't use anymore?
I have a lot of daggers I do not use. If you ever want one, just let me.
I want to give one to Erin.
You want to give a dagger to a kid?
I had weird things when I was young to play
okay,
with. It's not
Maeve.
that. It's
Maeve,
if we don't come back.
this kid, I promise you, I'm sure he's in good. If your mom's anything like you, this kid's in great hands. He's fine. Let him enjoy his childhood. A lot of us didn't have a full-on childhood growing up. I mean, you obviously didn't. I got pulled out of mine pretty early. Erhard didn't really get his. I mean, trust me, let this kid have a childhood. He seems safe right now. I mean, there's no need to.
Andros, if we don't
do
come
that.
back, it means we failed the mission, which means the rift will get bigger, which means that his childhood is most likely over.
And we're not gonna fail.
I don't think there is anything wrong about giving him a way to defend himself. And maybe a weird way to remember his sister by.
Okay. If you want to give the kid a dagger, I'm not gonna stop you. But I would implore you to at least think about what kind of childhood you want that kid to have before you give him something like that. Because I wouldn't want any kid to have to even have the thought of their childhood being stripped away for any reason at all. Let alone that kid who's in the force right now, who knows what happened to him. And as I say that, I will pull out one of my extra daggers that I definitely carry on me, and I won't give it to her, but I'll have it like slightly outward towards her, as if giving her like the choice.
I know what you're saying, Andros, but the way I look at it now is it's a matter of survival. If he's anything like me, he'll know when to use it.
Just always, there's never too wrong to have a little bit of hope, at the very least.
I was hoping that I'd find my parents alive. I wasn't necessarily expecting a little brother, but what I'm hoping now is to keep them alive, and I'm gonna try my very best to do that. Giving him that dagger is part of that.
Okay. I trust your decision, but I would implore you to think about it.
Don't have much time to think about it. We're leaving in a few hours.
I'll have the dagger still out. The handle is.
Yeah,
pointing
I'll
towards
take
it.
it. Yeah.
What sort of dagger is it? Just a regular dagger?
It's one I had at the beginning. It's my original dagger I've ever had.
The one
this is
from Fortis?
Yeah, it has
What is it?
some weird carving in it. It has like a on the hilt, like right before the blade on the actual beginning, you'll see like a Loxodon face with big long tusks that go outwards that actually make the side hilts of the dagger.
Cool. Very cool.
Thank you. It's a cool dagger. Why? How come you never use this?
That one one's it's nice, but I refuse to use it.
You sure? Is this not special to you?
I have another one. I always carry multiple daggers. I have many. That one's just an antique.
Okay, if you're sure. All right. And also, Andros, thank you. Yourself, Rion, and Arcturus, you have no reason to go. Erhard, I can see why. But you three really don't need to come. I appreciate that you do.
Well, I mean, we have to, for me at least, I have to do good somewhere, and I guess we're helping somebody out. If we succeed, then that means your little brother gets his childhood. That's all that matters to me.
I wish to help you too one day, Andros. When that time comes.
Let's not worry about. Let's worry about the right now.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess at some point I'll try and figure out a time to.
Yeah.
when
I'll
we
say
goodbye.
over the next 3 to 5 hours, you guys, go for some drinks, grab some food. You just kind of try and do normal things, I guess, just to try and kind of keep you all occupied. But every now and then, Maeve, you will see a glance from Ayla as she looks up at you, with a knowing look, of what you're about to do. And then she looks down, and I'll say at some point, Ayla and Andros are walking together, going wherever you guys decide to go. And as there is just idle chit-chat between the two of you, maybe you're talking about how you met Maeve and that sort of thing, and your first night where she made you
didn't know how to.
Yeah,
How did you know about money, currency?
how she made you camp out under a tree when there was perfectly
Yeah.
good taverns about.
Yep.
And you have all those sort of conversations. And while you're just having general chit-chat, Erin and yourself, Maeve, are just walking along by the riverbanks, just enjoying the beautiful scenery. And you would probably assume this is a pretty good opportunity to give him this gift.
So, Aaron, do you have any
Yeah.
friends back home?
Yeah, I have this one friend called Peter. He's a really, really cool kid. He's got ginger hair.
That's his redeeming feature, is it?
Yes, like fire.
Oh, okay. And do you guys ever go out and play?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Anything dangerous ever happen? Or are you two pretty good? You
We
don't get
tried-
it.
We tried to scare a cow once, and it ran at us.
Oh, okay. What did you do? Run away?
Yeah.
Okay. Cows aren't that scary. Bulls are.
Oh. That's why Mum told me not to go near it anymore. I think it might have been a bull.
Did it have the big horns?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those. But the cows, they're pretty good. They're just curious.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a bull. Oh, is it true that bulls, when they see red, they want to attack them?
It's not actually true. You know what it is? They see the movement in the flag, and they go for the movement.
So if I stood
just-
still, it wouldn't have run?
Standing your ground can be a good thing,
Okay.
being confrontational, but bulls aren't the easiest to read. I don't think they know sometimes what they're doing. Your best bet is trying not to anger it.
Okay.
But sometimes you gotta be brave, and sometimes you gotta stand up when things
Yeah.
happen.
Brave like that.
Brave like that. And and she'll kneel down. I don't know if we're standing still.
Yeah, we can say you are.
I would have wrapped up the dagger in some cotton something, and I hand it to him and place his hand over the top.
What is this?
This is a dagger. It's very sharp. Be very careful. I hope you never have to use it. But with that gone, I want you to have something to be brave when you need to be. There might come a day when Mom and Dad aren't there. Okay?
Okay.
You'll be fine. You're Eleanor. You're gonna do fine.
Yeah. Can I show Mom?
Show Mom after I've gone, okay?
Okay. Can Socks sit on my shoulder for a bit?
Yeah, of course.
And yes, you like usher Socks over and he like leaps onto his shoulder and he's like, you can see Socks like grabbing at his ear and he's just like trying to wiggle him off, but yeah, he sits on the shoulder and then like he peeks under the fabric that you've wrapped it in. He's like, oh cool. And then like he wraps it up and like he's got a little bag on him and he like shoves it in the bag and puts it back on his back.
Okay.
I'll let Mum know when you go again.
Just say to her that you're not planning on using it, but it's only for when you need to be brave.
Okay.
And also, I think you might have to look after Socks for me for a few days.
Wait, really?
Well, I don't think Galoin is gonna come with us. And I'm going to go ahead and assume here that Galoin is probably going to stay here with the animals. So you can still hang out with Socks.
Does that mean I get to stroke the creepy owl as well?
That's a time that I would say not to be brave, but be brave without the dagger if you want to try.
But you told
Be
me
very
to
nice.
stand my ground.
You would not with the owl. The owl has gone through some traumatic experiences and he is a little bit sensitive. If you're very nice to him, he'll be okay, but just don't cage him up.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Maybe I can become friends with Galoin and then he can teach me to stroke the owl and feed the animals.
I'm sure Galoin would actually love to have someone that interested in doing stuff with the animals.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. And yeah, you get to like you see that Andros and Ayla are crossing like one of the bridges over the rivers at this point. And as you do, he goes to walk across as like 3 of the fish come flying out of the river over the top and like they splash you and him and he just starts giggling and then runs after his mum as you've both got wet a bit.
Yeah, and I just smile and I'll try and catch up a bit.
Yeah, your daughter, by the way. Listen, I never thought I could meet someone who doesn't know anything about anything until I met her. At the end of the day.
Well, we did try to teach her when she was younger, but
Yeah.
obviously because she went away at such a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, children don't understand wealth.
No, not at all.
I would have hoped she'd have at least learned what we did with the gold, but obviously not.
She's actually more responsible with money than some of us are, in all fairness.
Wow,
Yeah.
that says a
Yeah.
lot about the rest of you, does it not?
Listen, I've never had this much gold in life, and a lot of times, I don't see the point in keeping a lot of it. So I just, I'd like to just give, I guess.
Andros,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for being there for Maeve where I couldn't be.
I sympathize with Maeve a lot. She's kind of like, my best friend over here.
Just know that if you're ever in these parts again, when you've finished your adventuring or whatever, you're more than welcome to come to ours. You're a friend of Maeve's, you're a friend of ours. You can stay at our place, we'll cook for you, clean for you, whatever you need.
Thank you. Me and Maeve will have to visit after all of this. I'm sure I'll stick around a bit after everything's settled. So, Yeah, I'm sure we'll travel down that.
We'd love to
back here.
have you.
Thank you. Your kindness means a lot.
Yeah, and she just puts a hand on your arm as just like a thanks, sort of like comforting. And yeah, I will say, as we progress on to the final hour, you all gather your things. You all gather back together in the lobby of the Hall of Echoes. And as you do, Galoin runs up. Right, I don't think I'm coming. I don't know. Is that? I can cut. I've got my crossbow ready if you need it.
You know, Galoin.
I've loaded it. He sticks
Yes.
a bolt in it, pulls it back.
I think I don't know how you feel about going to different realms, but I think that you should stay here with the animals.
Thank God.
And I
Okay.
like lean in close. Make sure to watch the Maeve's brother and mom.
Oh
while we're
no,
gone.
I'll look. Me, Jasper, we got this.
You two are a great team. Better than me and you are.
Just remember. He holds
Yeah.
his fist up with the ring of the rat on, and he looks at it, and he looks at you.
I know.
I've got backup.
You do. We'll come back.
Oh, and because I was with you when you went to the Tome of Treasures, I noticed that you've got a lot of health potions. Just don't forget to divvy them up amongst you before you get into a fight. Otherwise, I'm sure I've seen you all have one person with like 7 potions, and no one else has them, and then you all bicker. So to prevent this, I thought I'd mention it.
This is why we need you. This is why you.
I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
And he smiles, and he puts his crossbow back on, then realizes it's still loaded, takes it off and untakes the bolt, puts it away, and then puts it back.
I was surprised with your shot. I could take a few pointers from you.
Well, when we're next on the road and a threat is in our way, don't worry, because Galoin will be here to save the... Probably not. I'll fire my crossbow and try my best.
Galoin the Marksman. Maybe that's your new title instead of... Well, the last one.
Warden of Arkenvale?
Okay, how about Galoin, the Marksman of the Iron Vortex, a Warden of Arkenvale. How about that? Great title.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're the marksman, no?
No. Not anymore. And I point to the shield that's on my back.
Give us the arrow of dragon slaying then. Maybe I can put it to better. It's a joke on
If you want to
draft.
use it, I will let you use it. I don't want to
Please,
use this
Please
arrow.
don't give me that responsibility.
I don't want the responsibility.
Well, tough. he pats you. He says, "Well, I'm sure you'll do a great job anyway. I'll stick around with Ayla and Aaron and
Don't make sure Tenko hurts the kid, please. I am really nervous about my aura.
I think since the cage has gone, I think he should be a lot better.
He does seem a lot better. He was chilling out with me just fine last night.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind. I've took a couple of gold to pay for rooms for me for the next day or so, in case you're...
I take out 5 platinum and I give it to him.
Oh
Just
my lord.
cover throughout the days we're gone.
Okay, I've got to hide this before I'm mugged.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll treat Ayla and Aaron to, I don't know, a show at the theatre or something with that money. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh. Right, well, good luck.
Galoin,
Yeah, Arcturus?
one favor.
Yeah?
In the case this all goes south and we don't return.
Yeah, but you will.
I know. But since last event, we were under the impression we handled things very well, and you know what happened at the circus. So,
Yeah?
just in case we don't come back, I want you to give this to the person whose name is on the envelope.
He looks at the envelope. What's the name on it?
And name on the envelope. It's Eliash.
Okay. Yeah, and he goes, oh, yeah, can do. Yeah, not a problem. And he shoves it in his bag, his backpack.
Thank you.
Only if you don't come back.
Only if we don't come back.
So when you do come back, I'll give you the envelope back.
Good.
Yeah, and he puts his backpack back on. Well, good luck.
We'll be back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sure you will.
Come on. We beat serpents. We beat drakes. What is a rift with necrotic things gonna do to us?
Yep.
What's,
turns around
Yeah, right.
and begins to walk out as Ayla looks towards her daughter and smiles, and you see a tear forming at the eye, and you see her like being stern with herself as to not to cry again. She grabs Erin's hand and then she walks up to you, Maeve, and she just kisses you on your cheek. Come back to me. With your father too.
I will try my best. I've still got this. And she'll show the necklace that she still has that her mother gave her when she was a child.
And at this point, she turns her back to you immediately, and she starts walking out. And you're like, why is she? And then you just see like the pitter-pattering of wet on the floor as you see her emotions just build up, and she can't deal with the fact that you've kept it all this time. And
Is
yeah,
Erin
you
still
just-
here?
She's taking Aaron, who Aaron's like looking over his shoulder, and he's like, bye, bye, like trying to wave at you.
Gloin, could you do something
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah, sure.
Can you give this to my mum? And she hands a pouch of money to Gloin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a problem. Yeah, absolutely fine. Please don't tell me it's all platinum.
No, but it's 150 gold, so I don't know how big that bag would be, but
My word. I'll just stay out. No, it's not that bad. Yeah, but it's like
We requested money for this, right? Like we were low. Why? No one tells the council we needed money. It
And
doesn't matter.
Galoin grabs the bag and follows after Ayla and Aaron. And all of you stand there for what seems like hours and hours. In reality, it's about 10 minutes, but it's
I'll
that.
be training. The whole
Yeah,
time.
it's that awkward moment before you know something's about to go down, and there's that like that feeling in your stomach as all of you wait. And Houndir comes out, and as he does, he walks up to a part of the tree. Well, if you are all ready, do you wish to traverse?
Let's
Or
go.
should we be ready for something as soon as we enter? Or
We'll be fine upon arrival, but we will be on the outskirts of the Wall of Thorns, which is on the edge of the Everglade.
has my father arrived yet?
Your father is awaiting my arrival as we speak.
Okay.
Prepare yourselves.
And he traces a finger into a door, like an oval shaped shape into the wood. And as he does, this green energy begins to swirl, and he looks to Arcturus and says, I'm sure you'll be used to it by the time this is all over. Yeah, and there's that like that feeling in your throat immediately, like the bile. As one by one, you all rush through, as this green swirling energy spins you around and round, as you all begin to get a headache for just a moment, and then one by one you stumble out from another tree deep in the forests. As you guys have moved from all the way here to over here. Well, it'd be on the outskirts, so just here. as all of you come flying out of this tree one by one. Everyone make me a con save with advantage, because you have experienced this once before. Okay. Okay, everyone is fine. Arcturus, you come out and go, like, you feel it in your, like, in here, but no, you're good, you just pace back and forth a minute, and then you control your breathing, and then you're like, yep, no, we're good. Arcturus is good.
I hate traveling like this.
And then
Come on
Houndir
now, it's
follows
not too
after.
bad.
Well, you did better than last time.
And the time before?
Yes, last time you provided nutrients for the tree.
I'd like to help.
And he smiles, and as you see this, you see a he has put you outside of a tree, and there are around about 4 or 5 individuals stood nearby, 2 of which are currently hands touching this large 60-foot high wall of vines, all covered in thorns. And you see these 2 individuals wearing dark greens and browns with their hands pressed in to the vines, and it appears to be that they are channeling magic into the vines themselves. You then see 3 other individuals. You see 2 helmed Golden Order members, and a third with his helmet off, holding it under his arm. As Maeve, you see before you the friend that you had here many years ago. As Kellum stands before you, and the look of recognition on his face when you stumble through the tree strikes him, as you then hear the rattling of chains from within the wagon behind them. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session, as all of you appear just before Kellum, Maeve's dad, Golden Order, some druids, Houndir. Like, yeah, you've got a bit of a mission on your hands coming up, and yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us today. If you jumped in halfway through and was like, what the hell happened there? You can watch the VOD over on the YouTubes, which usually goes live on a Wednesday. But we are going to quickly go around the room. And Tim, why don't you start?
Yes, let us start. Guys, I am Tim. It was a pleasure to play Arcturus again. And you can find me here on this channel, Natural Havoc on Twitch or Natural Havoc on YouTube. Sometimes even Natural Havoc on Twitter, but that's another department, so I'll don't speak about that. But yeah, let's see for next week what's gonna happen.
Awesome. And below Tim, we have Eagle. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eagle. You can find me with the Eagle Outlaw on YouTube, where I do a 3-way hardcore Nuzlocke Soul Link through Oraz with someone who's here, Onion Soupy, and Patty Max, who was in chat earlier today, and who was Jasper on our one-shot. When we put all our previous sessions, you can go watch those if you want. You can also follow the Twitter where we post things. Where, I mean, Tim apparently might be posting stuff. I don't know. Maybe. Sounds like he is. And you can see the Instagram where I've been actually posting. I posted one throughout the session. If you go see it, you can see my face in the middle of the session. So yeah, you can go watch that. And also you can go follow the Discord or join the Discord where you can talk to all of us live, whatever you want. You can say things like, wow, I needed really good voice in that. Wow, you know, the tension's really rising in this story. There's so much going on. Wow, there's so much craziness. Good job, Iron Dwarf. Y'all are amazing. But we gotta give it to Andros being the most badass member. But you know, you just put what you want in there. You can put what you want. And yeah, there you go.
You can also tell Eagle how handsome he looks today as well.
You could. You really could.
Yeah.
That's something you can do for free. It's
yeah,
free.
you certainly can. And below Eagle, we have Smitty. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Smitty. You can find me over on Twitch. playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption at the moment, which I really like because I get to be a cowboy. It's basically playing Horse Simulator. And otherwise, you can find me here every Friday, which is exciting and a little bit sad at the moment because it's a lot about Maeve and it's not all that very fun. But it's good because we're finally getting through it. So that's nice after 60 odd sessions. So yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. Maeve did not have the best upbringing. It's very sad.
It's not nice, but I think it's a good story to tell.
Yeah, for sure. And to the other side of the screen, we would usually have Zeb. But Zeb isn't with us this week. He should be back next week, as far as I'm aware. You can usually find him over on Agent Zeb, where he does a load of medieval-esque, roguelike D&D-esque games over on his channel. So you can go check out all that stuff. And he streams every now and then. I think he's got more of a schedule right now because he's got a little bit more free time. So yeah, go check him out as well. And above Zeb, we have Lan. Lan, take it away.
Hello, my name is Lan. You can find me over here on the Natural Havoc channel, on Twitch and YouTube and Discord if you feel like rambling. Now, it's been great fun playing Shion, and I can't wait for next week because I fear that we are gonna get into some combat maybe, and I don't want to die. So can't wait.
Hi, I'm Onion. I'll be providing some combat next week. I'm pretty sure. Who knows? Maybe they'll just discuss for like 4 hours outside of a thorn wall, or they'll go into it and see the horrors that await. But yeah, cool, awesome. I'm the Onion Soup. You can find me over on YouTube as well, just like this man just here, because I'm doing a Soul Link trio 3-way Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Nuzlocke, which is a lot of fun at the moment. So we're having a good time with that. And I am on a hiatus from Twitch, but we'll see. Who knows? Yeah, that's me. I'm usually here though on Twitch. So come check us out here every Friday. Cool.
Onion, did you know, by the way, before we go, that we have some really cool emotes, and you can use those emotes free if you have a Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a free monthly subscription to any channel you want. And so happen we have emotes here that you can use the free subscription for. Wow.
Wow, and there's some in the chat right now, and thank you, the Onion Soup, for posting them.
Yeah, thank you, Onion Soup. Wow.
But yeah, you can certainly do that. You can have a dancing socks emote. Who doesn't want that? He's so cute. But yeah, cool. Thank you for that, Eagle. Who are we raiding? We normally do a little raider rune ski, so who are we heading out to?
Eagle, who are we raiding?
Wow, I feel like I've been doing a lot of this. Anywho, we're gonna be raiding into Runaway Robot, who's doing Spelljammer adventures, I guess. And yeah, they seem you can have some boons if you can give some boons, I guess, and help out the players and whatnot. So it seems pretty fun. It looks like they're in combat right now, so we can go over there and have a little bit of fun.
I was gonna go get my Spelljammer books, but then my lights got trapped in the wire of my chair, so now I'm not moving.
Nice.
Yes, they're really good books. Yeah, it's a really, really good story, and it's all set in the Astral Sea, which Erhard has visited. So it's technically
Erhard is canon in that universe.
It's canon.
Technically, for 6 seconds, did blimp out to the Astral Sea where he saw a massive silver dragon. So yeah, he's in their campaign somewhere. See if you can spy him in the background, floating by. Cool, but yeah, we're gonna go head on over there. So please do follow us on the raid. Yeah, and we will see you guys next week. If you didn't get to watch it on YouTube. Thank you for being here from YouTube or Twitch. Thank you. We appreciate you. Take care. Goodbye. See ya. Ciao. Whatever words could I use?
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
You got it.
Arrivederci. Lan, Japanese.
Louis.
Damn, let us go.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.